What we're going to do is ask Claude to look at the spreadsheet, check if Ant equipment is in there, and if not, move over to the CRM and try and find some more information there. Once it has this data, Claude's going to then fill out the form for us and hopefully transfer the information across to the vendor form. The first thing that's going to happen is Claude's going to start taking screenshots of my screen and quickly realizes that the Ant equipment company isn't actually in the spreadsheet. So the first thing it does is it swaps over to a CRM and searches for the company we're interested in. Luckily, we get a search match and Claude then starts scrolling through the page, looking for all the information it needs to fill out this form. Claude then autonomously starts transferring the information across without me having to do anything.
And goes through the steps and fills out all the information needed.
And then submits the form.
All right, here's something you have to see. Claude just took control of the computer and is literally doing the job for us. Watch as it scans through this messy spreadsheet, finds the missing data in the CRM, and then effortlessly fills out this entire vendor form. We didn't lift a finger. Claude did it all. This is next level AI. Let me show you how this works. Fair warning though, if you're already scared of AI taking over your job, this might just add fuel to the fire. With Anthropic's latest update to Claude, we're stepping into a new era of AI, where it's not just about answering questions or spitting out text, but actually controlling our computers. You've probably seen this tech pop up on your feed with headlines like, Claude can now control your PC. And trust me, that's not an annoying clickbait. It actually is as exciting as it sounds. Today, we're diving deep into how this new feature works, how it stacks up against other AI tools like ChatGPT, and whether you should be giving it a try. What is Claude's computer control? Anthropic just released some major updates for all its Claude models, but the one that is gathering the most hype is their all-new computer use feature. So, going straight to the point, what exactly is this feature? In the simplest of terms, Claude now has the insane capability to do things like navigating your browser, clicking through menus, entering data, and even running basic programs directly in your computer without you having to raise a finger. Think of AnyDesk if you've ever used it. Another user from anywhere in the world can take over your computer, move the mouse around, click any buttons, and even type for you. But with AnyDesk, it was always another human taking over. It's artificial intelligence that is imitating a human. It's basically like you have an AI as your virtual assistant with actual hands that can use your computer and perform any tasks for you. From simply telling AI to do individual tasks to now having it perform complete general computer skills, we truly have come a long way, haven't we? And it works in the same way. You simply tell Claude what you need to get done in the form of text prompts, and it translates your prompts into computer commands. And the computer commands can be anything: putting data into an Excel sheet, browsing the web to look for data, filling a form online using data from your computer. Claude's computer control feature can do all that and more. But I'm sure you're all wondering, how exactly does it do all that? What is going on behind the scenes? Well, it actually starts from taking a screenshot of your screen to analyze exactly what you're looking at and figure out exactly what's needed to get the job done. Once it has the screenshot, it calculates the exact number of pixels it needs to move a cursor vertically or horizontally to click the correct place for the task you asked to perform. Step by step, it takes screenshots, analyzes them, and performs the operation, while also correcting itself or retrying a step in case of any obstacle or mistake. Your prompt can be as detailed as hundreds of successive steps, and Claude can manage it. With these steps, Claude's new feature can perform many repetitive and annoying tasks that we have to do in a workday, and all this is available in the API already. I mean, can you even imagine AI taking care of doing all your mundane tasks, like filling out spreadsheets or scheduling emails, all while you sit back and sip your coffee? This truly is the future. Pros and cons, real experience with Claude's control. Of course, with every shiny new feature, there are always a few bumps. There's no doubt that this new feature is definitely worth the hype, but everything has both pros and cons. Let's start with the good stuff. For one, Claude's intuition is absolutely incredible. I ran a test on it, and it was pretty impressive how it was able to open applications, browse like a human, and perform a variety of tasks. If we're talking about automating repetitive tasks, Claude is crazy efficient. It's also pretty amazing how helpful this new feature is in terms of designing or coding. It can switch between any applications you want like Figma and the browser, constantly perfecting its solution. Take a look at this video here of Claude taking over and creating a design on Figma. Other than designing, it can also be a great development partner, not just in terms of getting the coding part done, but also in terms of debugging. But as great as it sounds, it's not all smooth sailing. There were definitely a couple of hiccups along the way. For one, during my tests, and also according to other user reviews I came across, Claude does get stuck sometimes, or even misinterpret commands, sometimes even making the task more complex than it has to be. For example, take a look here. Claude simply had to fetch the weather from the Google screen, but instead, it ignored the screen and started going through many other complex commands. Other than that, I'm sure many of you were already thinking this, but of course there are security concerns in the community. I mean, as AI gets more and more advanced and can now take over your computer, it's definitely important that we, as users, make sure we prioritize our safety and security. Currently, Claude's control over your system is limited, which means it can visit websites on your system, but it can't create accounts or generate any new content, thus avoiding any changes of human impersonation across social media, which is of course a good thing for now. But with time, it might be able to create accounts too, with the right security measures, of course. However, in the current circumstances, it is crucial that we implement any AI working with a thoughtful and strategic approach, while focusing on our own security. What's next for Claude? This computer control feature of Claude is already available in public beta, and ultimately, The Anthropic team aims to allow all kinds of users to automate any of their repetitive tasks and conduct any open-ended tasks. In a blog post, the Anthropic team wrote, "Enabling AIs to interact directly with computer software in the same way people do will unlock a huge range of applications that simply aren't possible for the current generation of AI assistants." There's no doubt about that. But here's where things get really interesting. Anthropic is already hinting at even more advanced features for Claude with their new Opus 3.5 version that's on the way. They're building upon their success with Sonnet 3.5 and Haiku 3.5 for this new model. And with it, they're planning to unlock a whole new world of possibilities. We're talking about deeper integration into systems, possibly allowing for more complex automation down the line. Think about AI-powered agents managing entire workflows without human intervention. In a couple of years, we might not even have to touch our keyboards for routine work tasks. I mean, in the future, there's a huge chance we'll have Claude booking flights for us, setting up meetings and handling pretty much any of those annoying little things that eat up our day. How does it stack up against competitors? Now, I know what you're thinking. How does this compare to other AIs? If you've been using GPT-4 or Google Bard, you'll know just how powerful they are when it comes to natural language processing. Especially if we talk about ChatGPT, we know its new updates are focusing more and more on precision and accuracy, but Claude has taken it all a step further. Because as great as all its competitors are when it comes to coding or answering queries, there's one thing that they fall short on: controlling external applications or devices, or interacting directly with your system. So, with this new feature, Claude's ability to physically interact with your system definitely gives it a serious edge over all its competitors in this new agent era of AI. That being said, it's still not perfect. While Claude can perform many basic tasks like a pro, it's not quite ready for super complicated workflows that require heavy multitasking. For instance, when it comes to heavy-duty problem solving and tasks that require creativity, GPT-4 still holds the crown. Although Claude isn't much of a creative guy, it can definitely get basic tasks done. Honestly, right now, comparing Claude and GPT-4 is like comparing an excellent office assistant to a super intelligent project manager. Both have their own place, and they both serve different needs. Doesn't really mean either is better, right? I'll admit, when I first handed my computer over to Claude, I had this moment of panic. I was like, am I seriously letting an AI take the wheel here? I mean, a whole different brain is just taking over my computer and can do whatever it wants. But honestly, that only lasted a short moment, because once I saw it breeze through my to-do list, I thought, okay, maybe I should let Claude run my whole life. Jokes aside, it's a bit surreal to witness how far we've come with AI. I mean, just a short while ago, we were only just getting used to chatbots giving us a decent response. What was it, a year or two back? And look at where we are now, AI practically running our whole desktop. Challenges the limitations. However, as exciting as it sounds, we are still in the early days of Claude's computer control feature. Even the Anthropic team themselves admit that this feature is not even close to perfect right now, and it may struggle with even basic tasks at times. It still can't handle scrolling, dragging, and zooming perfectly, as mentioned in this tweet from Alex Albert, head of Claude Relations at Anthropic. They even tested its ability to book or modify flight reservations, and Claude was only successful in half of the tasks. Also, considering Claude fully relies on shots of the screen to perform tasks rather than a continuous video stream, it can sometimes miss short-lived actions or notifications. Another limitation that Anthropic itself has warned users of is the risk of prompt injection attacks. This means that right now, if Claude navigates to a web page that has images or text containing instructions, this data can end up overriding the instructions you're given in the prompt, thus leading Claude to make mistakes and do things that you didn't intend. To limit these risks, the team recommends users to limit Claude's internet access to approved domains only for now. Other than that, the Anthropic team has itself recommended users to not give Claude access to any sensitive data, like passwords, for now. So, of course, it's only the start. The feature is not perfect, but it's still in a beta phase, and Anthropic is hoping to improve this capability with all the developer feedback they'll receive. So, what do you think? Would you trust an AI like Claude to control your computer? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts, especially if you've tested it out. If you're curious just like me about where this tech is headed, hit that like button, subscribe, and press the bell so you don't miss out on future updates. I've got a feeling things are going to get real interesting from here.